Dear Kanni, what should young people be doing to help achieve SDGs?
I think to start with, there's no way we can achieve any of the SDGs without young people. I think particularly in Asia Pacific, but in many parts of the world, this is the majority of the population. They own the world, and they've got to be a key part of making a difference, because obviously things are not on track, right? So to me, it's that thirst for knowledge that young energy brings, and also to use that knowledge in a responsible way.
Dear Kanni, what are the unique challenges that young people face in the Asia-Pacific region? And what is UNDP doing to help deal with those challenges?
You know, it's a region that we've got to deal with large numbers, right? I mean, just think not just a youthful population, but a very large population. So whenever we discuss initiatives and ideas, we've got to look at what can be scaled, because it has to touch the lives of as many people as possible, right? Next, we've got a whole set of issues that for too long is under this, we package it as challenges. And I think we've got to be bold and courageous to really address them. Let me take two examples. Why is there still such a gap between girls and boys when it comes to opportunities after schooling, right? Why are the jobs less open to girls? Why is there a wage differential? And a second one, why is there such extreme violence and discrimination against sometimes young people as a whole, but sometimes it's young people who belong to marginalized or vulnerable groups? We are on a path that is just not sustainable. And the good thing is, a lot of young people who are entrepreneurs, who are our new investors, are saying the old ways are just not good enough for us. So the culture change, the behavior change, the change in driving what we consume, how we produce, I think these are big issues that we can take on together.
Dear Kanni, what is your vision for this region, and how can youth contribute to this vision?
Well, you know, we're having a very exciting online conversation across the region, and having all our UNDP colleagues really contribute to this. My hope is that those colleagues are talking to their networks of young people, not so young people, because to me, young is also not just defined by age, right? And this is something we've also got to be open to, that the youngness of spirit, of ideas, will capture our imagination. And the big issues that UNDP and my own vision for what UNDP can contribute to in the region comes with looking at those big economic transformations, what we would call the underpinnings of a green and blue economy that changes the drivers of economic growth. That's a key one. Looking at the new digital and innovation spaces and making them positive and not spaces for hate or for disempowerment. Then there's whole areas to do with reaching much more vulnerable remote populations in terms of reducing the burden of poverty, injustice, discrimination that they carry. So really, again, reaching out further and deeper. And this needs young people. Young people are all over. And we've got to energize and incentivize and motivate and inspire young people to join in that on that path with us.
Dear Kanni, how can development programs better engage young people?
You know, engagement to me comes with a sense of co-owning something, you know. And so when we look at designing, developing our programs, we've got to do it together with young people to bring their ideas in. It doesn't mean that we take in all the ideas, just as much as young people won't take in all our ideas. But it's a mutual exchange. It's a respectful space that we create to co-own, to co-design. And then we take what's best and optimal coming out of that space. There's some risk involved. We may not like what we hear from each other. But I think if you don't design together, you can't expect young people to come in later and feel engaged and be part of the programs that we put together.
Dear Kanni, when you reflect, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I look at my own experience, and as you said, if I could talk back to my younger self, I would say things we sometimes take as contradictions, maybe they're not. So I think you can be bold and responsible at the same time, right? You can be a voice and an advocate, an activist, and be a doer at the same time. These are not in conflict with each other, because if you can't take your voice and translate it into doing something about it, then I think, we're less effective. And maybe the last thing is to say to my younger self, enjoy life. Really enjoy the people around you, the planet around you, and don't forget to be young, and not just to be young in age, but as one grows older, to keep that sense of youngness in mind and in heart and in spirit, and to be forever youthful, and always to be to bring that energy, that kindness, that concern for people around you and for the planet around you throughout your lifetime. So hold on to that. It's really precious.